Hello, everyone. Welcome. Finally, it's been so long to the next episode of Catch the Fuck Up. I am Fern.
And I'm Nicole.
And it has been so long. We have so many emotions. It's, oh my God, we're literally already crying.
Yeah.
But this week's episode, we're looking at chapter 352. Title is Ultimate Moves.
Yeah. And I'm just going to dive right in. But listeners, just know I can't feel my fingertips. That's how emotional I am right now. Okay.
Oh my God, I'm like dizzy.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So we're going to start at the start. And it was really cute. I started reading and then I noticed these little tiny words on the side of the panel and they gave us a summary for the last chapter. So sweet.
Yeah, because it had been a minute. I thought that was just really nice and considerate.
It's been like a month and now I'm sobbing. Okay. All right. So after last chapter, which is when we finished Dobby's terrible backstory and they were just going at each other with their flash fire moves. So we're in the middle of that fight. But the chapter actually starts with a flashback back to Heights Alliance on the final night at UA before the war is starting. So
yep.
Our first panel is sweet baby Izuku. He's
sweet baby.
He's checking on Shoto because he heard that the plan is for Shoto to fight Toya / Dobby. And he's so concerned. He's like, I don't like that for you. But then
I know.
But then Shoto is like, actually, this is what I wanted, what I was expecting, it feels like the right culmination for him. So they're having this conversation in the changing room or the locker room or whatever. And in the background, everybody's naked.
And Ida is like, can we get a move on?
Yeah, everyone is going
30 minutes. Let's go. Let's do this.
It's everybody's going to take their shower before they go to bed, I guess. And it's just it's a very serious moment, but I'm kind of grateful that we got them just random nudity comedy bits because they're it's a boys' locker room. They're naked in there. It's not a big deal, but it's just the side by side, hilarious.
Yeah, it's pretty funny, and it's nice to just have this little slice of life, something they do every day in the midst of all this absolute horse shit that they're having to deal with.
Yeah, it's a nice deep breath before you get punched in the chest. So to get the punching underway, Izuku and Shoto are essentially discussing why it is a good thing that he is going to fight Toya, and Shoto is doing all the other flashbacks to the other big parts of the Todoroki family drama. TM. And he's thinking back to the first war when they were basically in Endeavor's hospital room after Dobby revealed that he was Toya on live TV, dancing around like a weirdo.
Yeah, so, his I don't even know how to describe that.
It's
his moment. Let's put it that way. His moment.
The folks on TikTok compare it to the weird Joker dance in the Joker movie I Refuse to See, where he's on the staircase. I don't know.
Oh, sure.
His little edgelord dance. So they're talking about that. And because obviously Izuku was gone for a while after that on his angst adventure. In the meantime, Shoto had been working on his ultimate move, and he had mentioned it a few chapters ago. I don't know where. There's a little tiny panel flashback where he's mastered a new move, and in the panel he opens his jacket, I guess, so it doesn't get burned, and he has an X of fire across his chest, which first thought for me
that's Endeavor's thing. Yeah,
that's Endeavor's thing. How fucking dare. But it's okay. It's all right. So they get into it, and he's essentially figured out a way to balance the heat and cold of his quirk so that the fire itself is actually not hot. It's not burning anything.
Exactly. Also, several things to mention.
Yes, several things to mention in this moment. We're going to take another deep breath of hilarity because Denki is there.
First of all, Izuku's face when he first realizes that Shoto's got a new move, he's so excited. He's like sweating.
Yeah, he's having a nerd moment, and it's great. He's so excited. He's like flashed right back to peak innocent Izuku and his love of
also
ultimate moves. Also Denki.
Toto Deku shippers, come get y'all juice. Time to chug.
Yes. I forgot that they still existed after all the Baku Deku juice we've gotten recently. But yes, the Toto Deku juice is strong in this chapter.
Flowing.
And it's great.
Horikoshi gave y'all a whole ass meal. So please enjoy.
Please enjoy for the moment because it's about to get
Yes.
All right. So after the Toto Deku moment, we have Denki.
Oh. God, I missed this little weirdo. I love him so much.
Yeah, I love him so much, especially now that we don't have to be suspicious of him.
All
right. So, like, while Shoto is just like showing off his new move, Denki jumps in and just starts poking him in the chest, poking him in the fire. And he's like, see, it's not burning me. It's great. And then Izuku also starts poking him in the chest. Oh, I missed my babies so much.
I missed their lighthearted shenanigans and just being kids and having fun. I'm glad that they could snatch a few moments of levity here and there.
Yeah, it's great. And then the page continues. Ida's back, still trying to get everyone to just go take a shower. And Shoto mentions that the move itself is very hard for him to maintain, obviously. And Bakugo is there, obviously, listening, because he's an eavesdropper.
Yeah,
and he's like,
he cannot keep his nose out of people's business.
He cannot. And he's just like, I'm going to last longer than you, wimp. It's just like, sir, now it's not the time. Please go take a shower.
Meanwhile, Ida's like, let's go, people. Let's go. Let's go, people. Let's go.
And then also, I'm pretty sure it's Kirishima there next to Bakugo. And he's just like, I don't know who to go to at this moment.
He's just like, oh, things are happening.
He's like, oh, things are happening. And I don't know how to process them. Me too, Kirishima. Me too. All right.
Forgot what everyone's chaos was like. And now I can't handle the sensory overload.
Love them so much. All right. So moving along from the moment of levity again, the next page is basically Shoto explaining how he's using his heart to regulate the heat and the cold. Basically, he's somehow worked it out so he can, I don't know if it's like control or just tap into how his heart is actually pumping hot and cold blood throughout his body, not just on either side. So with this new control or this new just awareness of how his body works, he can make a fire that is cold. So it's great.
His heart is central.
Yes, his heart is central and it's wonderful.
I had to take like a 5-minute break when I read that. I was like, oh God, I gotta walk around. I gotta do laps. That's too much for my little heart.
So after he finishes like the biology of his new move, he goes into his drama with the Todoroki clan and how Endeavor picked his mom. Ew, gross, barf.
Yep.
So that he could like have ice that would cool down the heat so it wouldn't hurt future generations, right?
Yeah, he's like, because we've seen Endeavor have to quit a battle before because he's overheating. Exactly. And so he was looking for a way around that, but he was just viewing the ice as like coolant.
Yeah, and not its own entity, much like how he doesn't view his wife or children as humans in their own right.
Anyway. Yep, as their own entities.
Yep. All right. So like Shoto is like, he knows that, he's accepted that, but he is purposely going in the opposite direction, and he is going to use the ice as its own thing beside the fire. And the next panel, it's so cute. He's smiling. He's like, this is me. This is what it is. This is my power, the hot and the cold.
I'm fine. I'm fine.
You just blew out your mic. That is how emotional we are. My mouth is so dry. I have so many feelings. All right. So
oh my goodness. And he looks at peace, like he's been struggling with this for a really, really long time. And he's finally like gotten to a place where he feels right. And I'm just so happy for him because he's worked so hard.
Yep. And he's like content with himself, and he's thanking Izuku for giving him that first push all the way back at the sports festival, because it is his power. It's great. So after this wonderful smiley moment, we get back into the pain with the current battle. So after all of this, we have a new move name for Shoto's like new move. And it is called Icebound Crash Cold Flames Pale Blade.
Long ass name, but okay.
Yes, the second part of it is badass. I enjoy it. I wonder if Cold Flame is his hero name. It's not confirmed yet. Seems like it should be.
That would be amazing.
Also, it like hooks back to the fantasy AU that everyone wants the OVA for, because he's the knight with his sword. He's got the pale blade. Yeah. So maybe Cold Flame is going to be his name, which would be awesome. But we don't know, because there's a lot going on right now, and now it's not the time for paperwork. So,
oh my God.
So he hits Toya with his like new cold fire, and like essentially it's a way to cool Dabi/Toya down so he can't create the fire and the heat that he needs for his work, because he has no ice in his
work. It both incapacitates him and saves him.
Yes.
So galaxy brain. Brain.
It's great. So he hits Toya, like it's a really good hit. And in the moment he says, maybe this is the way to cool your head. Shoto, please, your puns. Now is not the time. We are crying.
I love him. He's such a good boy.
Yes, it was adorable. So Shoto gets in a really good hit, and Toya goes flying, and he like stops himself like at the tail end of the hit. And he's realizing what Shoto can now do with the two parts of his work. He's like, okay, yeah, you're the perfect man for this job. Yeah, he's doing his little teasing thing that he gets under his skin.
Another monologue.
Yep. So, and he like dives right into his usual like bluster and hatred of how Shoto is like the same thing, or like what he could have been if he had stayed with the old man, and like how he hates everything about Shoto, but he's really hating everything about himself. All of that hurts in the heart still. So in this moment, Shoto realizes that he's lost like hold of his new move. So he needs to build it back up like he was a couple chapters ago. Meanwhile, Dabi Toya has become there's no skin left.
He's gone full creature.
Yep. It looks like he's just all muscle, all scar tissue. Some of him is like even on fire, and his quirk is so hot in this moment that he's actually bubbling the asphalt or the cement or whatever he's on. And that's a lot. That's a lot of heat. That's a lot. All right. So, and he also makes this comparison that, he's been like holding up his sleeve for a while just to slam it out. And he's like, a warped rail can never mingle with the straight rail. So it's like, it's like running in parallel, but forever apart. So he's basically saying we're going in the same direction, but we're never going to be able to like be together or work together or coexist or anything like that, which is fair, but also, sir, your anger, please take a breath.
Yeah, darling, oh man, therapy.
Yep, please go to therapy. All right, so
it's very clear that you're 20.
Yes, it is very clear that you're 20 and have not done any sort of real critical thinking. It's okay.
Yep. Poor thing.
Poor thing is just a victim of his society, and also he's a 20-year-old man. So.
Yep.
All right. So while Shoto is like trying to get his move back up, Toya like goes right into his heat because he's able to turn it on a lot faster because he's not caring about his body, obviously. Yep. And now he attacks again, and he's like burn and die and all of that. And it's a really strong move. Boom. It's like a hurricane or a volcano of fire. It's bad. It's very confusing, and it's going right for Shoto. until.
Oh my God.
All right. So we have our first like confirmed casualties of characters right now. So
I'm not 100% sure.
well, casualty is actually like injuries and or deaths. So
Okay.
it is a casualty. So remember in like the last chapter or two, Endeavor's sidekicks are with actually Shoto, not Endeavor, and they're like running interference so he can build up his cold fire moves. And in this moment, while Shoto is building back up, they get in front of him to take the full brunt of Dabi's very strong hit, and they're not able to redirect it or really do anything but take it. So we have the two sidekicks whom I don't think we know the names of, or at least I don't remember them, and also Burnin. So Burnin, oh, our queen.
Oh, please be okay. Please be okay.
Yes, please be okay. So
oh my God.
So they get hit big bad. Like we don't see that they are dead, but it can be assumed that
they're down for the count at least.
Yes, at least. And Shoto is like obviously upset about it.
Fucking apologizes because of course he does.
Yeah, he apologizes because he's not doing his job with his move that is specially made for his brother. But Burnin like assures him, like with her last breath in the moment, whether she's just down hurt for a moment or the other thing we don't want to acknowledge, she says, quit it, save your energy, like it's fine. And Shoto,
but like before that, she like reassures him that he's right and that like he couldn't be more right about what he's trying to do, and she gives him like a little emotional boost.
Yep. And Shoto thanks her as they essentially pass out. So in that moment, we have a moment inside Shoto's head, like this is the culmination of his journey, of his character, like up to this point, and honestly what it has been building up to for the whole thing. He came into UA with all this drama and trauma with his family, and he came in as the gifted kid, but then he realized everyone else was getting ahead and he was just kind of staying where he was.
Because he was dealing with brain things. He didn't have time for power things. Exactly.
And he realized that, and he was sad about it for a while. And then he realizes, because he's so cute and so baby, he realizes that Class 1A has always been there for him. They've been waiting for him to, I don't think 1A is like waiting for him to catch up, but that's what he feels like.
That's how he sees it, but yeah,
like he sees it. They were always waiting. They were always encouraging me. They weren't going to let me get left behind. They were always
Class
there.
A never left anyone behind.
They were always. Ern is having feelings. I am having them too, but
I know. Oh God.
Our babies are a family, and they're there, and they are Shoto's support system. And he realizes that now, and he is content with his position. And he has one more flashback to when Mount Lady was there. I think it was like season 5, when she was like, trying to get them to do like their ultimate moves.
Yeah, they were doing interview training.
Yeah, and like around like the work study time where everyone had like developed new moves and all that kind of stuff. And Shoto didn't have one, obviously, because he was going through other stuff, but now he has it. And that move is, okay, I got ahead of myself. So
yeah, it's okay.
So now after Burnin and the others got hit, he has like rekindled his cold fire. He's like got it back, and he's holding it, and he rushes at Toya and he hits him, and he doesn't hit him with his quirk just yet. He actually makes contact with him. He's like holding him, and he's holding him specifically on his right side. So he hits Dabi, and Dabi is like shocked that he reached him, obviously in all that fire. And in that moment, he says essentially like, please just stop. And
Oh my God. Every single bit of dialogue in this is just a heavy hitter.
Yeah, it's perfect. And so it is really just stop and like take a moment, honestly.
Yes.
And like Shoto is like, I know where your anger is coming from. I have that same anger and I had it and I had to stop and pause and just breathe for a moment, I guess. So he hits Toya, and in that moment of impact to like his midriff, you turn the page and it's another big ultimate move, and it is called Great Glacial Aegir or Aegir.
I think it's Aegir.
Aegir. Okay, so it's like a big, huge ice wall, which is, his specialty, even stronger than his heaven-piercing one from before. Fern looked up what Aegir means.
Yes. So Aegir is the Nordic personification of the sea. So basically, this is Great Glacial Sea. So basically, he's it's not like a wall. It's more like a
wave in the ocean.
Yeah, it's more like a wave. Yeah.
Okay, cool. So it's just a big giant tsunami of ice. I don't think it's fire either. I think it's just ice.
Maybe. Yeah, I think this is an ice move specifically.
Okay. All right. And then you turn the page and your heart breaks.
Yep, once again.
So you turn the page after that full spread and you get like a half page. One is like, it's like the background, but before that you have Toya as a kid and Shoto as a kid, like colliding, Toya has been hit and he's defeated, and Shoto did the hit and did the win, but he's not happy about it. And they're just both
the win.
He's in pain and they're both in pain, and there's just like nothing more to do than the fire and the ice, and they're both crying.
And he managed to take his brother in, presumably alive.
Yeah.
So
you turn the page and the chapter ends with like literally just that whole area of, I think it's Camino, if I remember, it's like the Camino Ground Zero.
I think so, yeah.
All the buildings that were still standing are like now frozen over because his icy blast,
his giant wave,
just took out everything even farther than where the Ground Zero.
It's like multiple large buildings back. He's taken out a couple blocks.
Yeah. So everything is frozen. It's like it's just like a tundra, and he is holding Toya up on his right shoulder, which is
he
his
goes
cold
from
shoulder.
containing him to holding him.
Yep. So he's like, the fight has presumably stopped because it does appear that Toya is down for the count. Again, much like Vernon and the others, we don't know what his status is at the end of the chapter. We just know that he has been defeated in this moment. And I don't think he's going to get up for another round. I think this is pretty much it.
I think just based on the way this chapter is structured, I think this is the culmination.
Yeah, this is the end of the Shoto Toya battle part of the wider war. So basically it just ends with Shoto holding his defeated brother, and it's sad, and we can hope and cross our fingers and toes that Toya is alive somehow. Honestly, it could go either way. He could be dead, or it
really could. I really hope he's alive though, for Shoto's sake, because Shoto, I mean, obviously he wanted to defeat him, but more specifically, he wanted to save him.
Yeah,
so, and I really hope he gets to do that.
Yeah, he did not want to kill his brother. So if they go the route of him dying, which I hope he doesn't, I think what they will do in like the next chapter is he'll have like his final breaths, his deathbed moment with Shoto, or hopefully they can get some healers to him really quick and just kind of like put him in a comatose state so he can just not die. That's how they do it.
I still think Aries going to come into the narrative at some point.
Yes.
Because I don't see how she couldn't.
I feel like we haven't really talked about that much, but Fern and I have this headcanon that the only way to really save Toya is to have Eri rewind him and rewind his body back to some form of normalcy.
Yeah, I don't know if she will ever be able to control her rewind to where she can return you to some ideal state witut like de-aging you.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to happen. I think if Toya survives and if Horikoshi is going to bring Eri in to help him, he's just going to revert him back to where he's not actively dying, and maybe heal some of the newer scarring. But if anything, we're going to have a Toya who looks like post First War Toya, where he had more scarring and
I
white
can't see
hair.
him going all the way back to being 13.
No. I don't see that either. I think he's going to be permanently like hurt and damaged, but not actively dying as he had been before this fight, where he was essentially just living on spite, which I get it, but also it's not good for the long term.
Yep. You end up doing exactly what he did and just burning yourself to ash.
Yeah.
Metaphorically.
Don't do that. All right. So the chapter ends. I refreshed the app, and thank fucking God, we do get a new chapter next Sunday. So we don't have to wait another month again. And hopefully,
for real.
hopefully, fingers crossed, we're going to get a new chapter every week now until the end, because now we have like one of the 4 main fights now finished. So
I think so. Yeah.
Well, actually, it's
still,
goodness. There's still maybe 4 more. So we have obviously the big AFO fight. We have the Shigaraki fight at Sky High that Deku is going to. We have the Toga fight with Uraraka that is it's still paused. Obviously, we still don't know what happened, and we also don't know where Spinner or the Heteromorph front or army thing is doing it. Like,
we still have no clue about them.
So there's 4 in that. There's a 4th being Spinner, the Heteromorphs, and whatever other surprises. But there's 3
presumably.
Battles. And there's 3 more battles that we know of that still need to resolve. So from here, I'm thinking we're going to get like the resolution. Obviously, we're going to see what became of Burnin and the others, what became of Toya, and maybe like a moment of whoever the other students are who are with Todoroki. Like they come together and they get like
oh my God, where is Ida?
I hope
Ida was there. Where is he?
I hope he ran away. Get out of the way, Ida.
Genuinely, I hope he ran away. Like, the adults can sacrifice themselves if they want, but I don't feel like that kind of decision is up to kids. But then again, Shoto's in the middle of that. But Shoto also like was the one who could withstand his fire. So I don't know. Whatever. I am rambling.
Yep, it's fine, because it was honestly, it was a very straightforward chapter, and now all we can really do is wonder where we're going to go next.
Honestly, I'm not convinced that we're gonna. I think I have kind of a feeling that we're gonna skip to an entirely different battle next week.
Yeah, I think so too. We may get like maybe a couple pages of some sort of like the aftermath of that blast. Like we may see who's down and who's up, but then it's going to go right to another one.
I also wouldn't be surprised if Horikoshi like holds us in suspense.
Yeah, he could do that too. We could open it next week and it'd be something completely different.
Because he likes to do that.
Because he's rude. Or if he's following like his newer pattern, when he switches, he does like give it like a little status update of the other one. So maybe he'll do that again, or maybe he'll just do a cold switch.
Who knows?
I'm thinking it's either going to do, honestly, the AFO fight is the one we know the least about. So maybe we'll do like an update on that one next before.
Because that one involves Endeavor too.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if like that's our transition.
Yeah, we go from Toya to Endeavor and seeing how that fight is going, because it is the least developed of the other 2. Like the other 2 are on round 2, essentially.
Yep. And I can't imagine that it's going well.
No.
Like I know both Endeavor and Hawks are there, but
if I were to put money down, I bet we're going to get a couple panels or a couple pages of just resolution of where Kamino has ended. We go to the AFO fight because Endeavor is going to get it in his ear that Toya is now down. And we're going to get that fight. And then with that fight, we're either going to get a status update of Sky High, where Deku is, and the Toga fight. But then while we think we're going to stay there, I'm wondering if Spinner and the Heteromorphs are going to come in, if there's going to be like another twist at the end of the next chapter to kind of keep us on our toes. And I just want it to be Sunday every day. I go to bed on Sunday and then I wake up and it's Sunday again. Why can't this be a thing? I don't like time.
Oh my God. Yeah. I didn't follow anything you said, but sure.
It's fine.
I got lost. I was like, wait, where are we? And then I was like, you know what? It's fine.
The listeners who are more in line with my brain will know. And then if not, y'all can just rewind a couple times. It's fine. I have too many feelings, but essentially next week could go anywhere. And
yep, basically.
I don't want to wait 7 days because the past 2 days, I have just been vibrating in waiting mode.
Oh my God.
Like a full 48 hours. And I feel like now it's going to be just 7 days of waiting mode forever.
Yep. This is the rest of 2022 is just us, like, it's just going to, it's taking over our lives. Like it already has, but even more so. Even
more so because now we're in the climax and that's obviously the most emotionally exacting. Well, I mean, we could talk about this forever, but honestly, there's not really any like speculation or new information to get into. So like, from here, just like, do we have any final comments or anything we missed other than, I
don't think so. I think I got all of my screaming out.
Okay, I did too. And I will do more screaming on Twitter while I transcribe because that has also been a thing I started doing. So enjoy that.
Sounds good. I love those. All right. Well, thank y'all for listening. You'll hear us again soon. And in the meantime, go beyond plus ultra and catch the fuck up. Bye, y'all.
Bye.